name's Deb, and I work at the Museum of East Asian Art, and I'm front of house manager and also retail manager. We're a very small museum. It was started off as a private collection from someone called Brian McElney, who was born in Hong Kong. And then he came back to retire to the UK in his 60s, and he wanted to show his collection in one of the big museums, but it was too expensive to do that. So he relocated in Bath and started up his own charitable educational charity. So we are called the Museum of East Asian Art, even though a lot of our core objects are from China, because Brian wanted to show how influential China was on the rest of Asia. So all that culture came usually from China and it's spread out through Asia. So we have got things from Japan, Korea. So it doesn't include India, but it's sort of right in the southeast. That's mainly the collection we have today. We have a Japanese tea ceremony going on up in the galleries. So that's one of the events we do, which is really popular. On Saturday, we had a sort of like Christmas event where we had matcha tea tasting. We made origami Christmas trees. So we try and do everything for all age groups. I mean, we got a dragons exhibition on at the moment because of the year of the dragon. And obviously all kids love dragons and big children love dragons. So it's been really popular. And we also got a temporary kimono exhibition in at the moment as well. Well, it's quite difficult. I find it very difficult in a museum shop. You want something that looks good quality, also uniquely Asian. You tend to have quite a lot of small things that people just pick up and they can take away, because if it's a museum shop and they're, even if it's international, even if it's someone from another part of the UK, they want something they can just put in their bag and take away. So you do quite a lot of small objects that are authentic and they're at a good price point. So that sort of really works for us. This. Right. The other really popular things, like I said before, are the chopstick rests. We can't get enough of these. People love them. They love them. And I did have a cat display because Japan and cats go hand in hand. And these sold really, really well as well. So I'd say that was the best sellers. When I came to work for the Museum of East Asian Art to take on retail in front of house, I didn't know anything about Asian art at all. I didn't realize it was so object-based. So being here for 8 hours a day, every day, it feels like a sponge and I can soak it all up. And I like the spirituality of and the symbolism in all the artwork, whereas European art wasn't so much like that. It was thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago, because they used to put certain objects in paintings which stood for things. Asian art just has that all the time. It's not just put there by mistake because it looks pretty, it's put there because it symbolizes something. And also that sort of juxtaposition of things like bats that we find, it's evil, it's Dracula, it's all this sort of like bad stuff, but and also dragons, it's like, it's scary, but in Asia it's the exact opposite. So I've really liked finding out about. Yeah, it's just a great way of sort of making that connection, especially with locals, because sometimes there's people that have lived in Bath for 30 years, for instance, and they've never been in the museum. People are always really interested, like even what I said about the Kenzan, they were like, what is this? What is this like little round thing? What is that all about? And then you start talking about the different cultures and, what they use it for and what it symbolizes. And some of the things I even get the volunteers to put it's like little white tags we've got. Just see if I got one like this, and we write on what the symbolism is of that object. And you know what, we sell so many things when you do that, because they want to give it to their friend. Then I saw this today and it reminded me of you, and this is what it's all about. And that, so if you write a little bit of information about either the culture or symbolism, they love it. People lap it up, they love it. I suppose it's like flexing a muscle and going, I'm educated about this and I want to pass it on to you. They are very reliable. They ship very quickly. I haven't had any breakages from any of the products. The feedback messaging is really good. I think I had one issue with something to do with my Kenzans, and someone answered me straight away, and they sent me all the replacements for it. So yeah, I think, yeah, hope our relationship carries on.